Hi, in this lesson we're going to be drawing from research based on Maori carvings. Just going to run through the process of maybe making a copy. It might be that you've got it on the screen, you can copy it from the screen, that's completely fine. Or it could be that we're just going to draw from a piece of paper. I've just printed this one off, so I'm going to draw from this. In terms of drawing this, I'm going to try and fit my two drawings onto the same page. So I'm going to have one up here, one down there. So just think about the basic layout of the page is a good thing. I'm going to draw them at a similar scale to the scale that I've got them at. That makes it a lot easier for me because then I can think about the proportions of these things. So I'm just going to start off by doing the drawing. Again, key thing, sharp pencil, nicely sharpened. I've got a rubber by my side just in case I need to make any changes, and I'm going to draw it as lightly as possible to begin with so I can make changes later on. So I'm just going to quickly begin the drawing. So just drawing lightly to begin with, looking at those shapes and drawing the basic shape to begin with. Again, I'm just using this for proportions. It's a bit wider there, going round, lightly sketching in those shapes, just so in case I need to, I can change them later on. Just like another little talky bit now. So just reworking the lines. So now I'm happy with it. I'm just darkening up some of those lines. So just the basic outline to begin with, and then I'm going to look more at the detail of the actual carving itself. So this drawing here is of a Maori fish hook. So fish hooks are worn around the neck as a pendant, and they're worn as a sign of strength, but also as a sign of good luck. So I'm just going to start to draw in some of the detail. Now first of all I'm going to draw this string, which is around the edge of the hook, which holds it to the pendant. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to curve my lines slightly here. So if I curve these lines, that will start to make the shape look a bit more 3D. If I'd drawn those flat, it wouldn't look quite as 3D. So I'm just curving them around ever so slightly, just mirroring what I'm seeing in my drawing. I'm just working out how far I need to kind of go down. Okay, and this is all in line, so just in line. I could also, if I look at the edge, I can then think about making it a little bit more three-dimensional. So I'm just adding some extra shapes to the edge of these, just to make it look like it is string that is tied around that shape. I'm going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to work on the carving. The carving is quite intricate. So again, it's just taking it step by step, do it lightly to begin with. I'm just looking at those shapes, trying to puzzle my way about how I'm going to draw those shapes. There's a sort of like a elongated shape like that, and I'm going to draw the shapes inside it. So there's a couple of shapes like this, and then there's a spiral, which is the key thing. So I'm going to draw that spiral, that links up with that. That goes round, and then there's a few more shapes that I can draw in on this one, just kind of working out those shapes. And then I'm going to extend that and draw the rest of this drawing later on. Now just making a leap forward. I've now done both my drawings. So this is the first drawing, in line, no tone, just entirely in line. I've changed it, I've adjusted it, I've used my rubber, I've used my pencil sharpener. I've also annotated it. So this is a haimatu, it's a fish hook, and it signifies strength, worn for good luck. So I've annotated that one. The other one that we're looking at is called a haitiki, and this is a spiritual figure of a guardian or an ancestor. So you see a lot of these small scale, sometimes bigger scale, always featuring a face and perhaps a body of the figure. And again, I've just drawn this in line, just gradually kind of building it up. I don't want any more detail than that. It's not going to be a tonal drawing, it's going to be a line drawing. I've also annotated that. And then I look at this page, and the one thing this page is lacking is it's lacking a title. So I'm just going to block writing in the title here. So I need to think about what I'm drawing. So this is Maori carving. So we're looking at that, just drawing it as simply as I can. And then I'm also thinking about how else I can fill in the spare bits on this page. It's important to try and fill that page to make it as interesting as possible. And I'm thinking a little bit about some of those patterns that you have in the Maori carving shape. So there's my title. Now I could, if I wanted to, I could work into that. I could work into that title, adding further patterns. So I'm thinking about some of the patterns that I'm seeing here, I suppose. So I could almost make the title so it's almost like a Maori carving in itself. If I wanted to, I could draw a border going around this. So I've got some space around the edge. I might want to draw a border. I could do this with a ruler, but in my case I'm going to try and do it freehand. So freehand just means without a ruler. Just going behind those letters so the letters stand out. So just thinking about the presentation. And then I could add a little border to this. So again, I'm just going to look at some of the patterns that I've got here. Some of these curving spiral patterns. And I might just add in some shapes a bit like that. So the spiral is also called a koru. And it's derived from a fern. This idea of a fern that's growing. So you start off with a spiral and it goes bigger and bigger and bigger. There might be other things that I might find which I can also use to kind of colour in, or to kind of develop my patterns going along the side. I might pinch bits from this shape over here. So for instance, I might take the circle, the eye shape. So I'm going to draw the eye shape again. And with these again, I can add little patterns to it, or I can make it stand out. So this one I can stand out by colouring in the background space. So if I colour in the background space like that, this is called colouring in the negative space. The negative space is the space which surrounds the object. There we go. And if I want to make that in a smoother shape, I can make it into perhaps a teardrop shape or something like that. Or I could do it the other way around. So I could colour in the actual shape itself. So the background, we can add a bit of tone to that. But it's the drawings, we want to keep the drawings so that they're just line drawings. And if I continued that, filled in all the space, I'd have my finished piece of work. Give it a go.